What's up, y'all? It's your girl Cornelia back for another episode of Black News, a podcast where we break down current events, hot topics, and local stories involving Black people. Now let's get into it. A quick PSA for non-Black news purposes. I just need to say this. If anybody want to donate to me to buy a house, I am open. Okay. The Cash App is open. Please. Okay. Please. I do not want to live in an apartment anymore. You know, you live in California, Southern California at that. You be 79,000 years old living in an apartment, because our apartments, my rent is more than y'all's mortgage. And I ain't saying y'all, because I'm saying y'all towards the people who live in like reasonable locations. Atlanta, okay, Charlotte, Houston, Indianapolis. I'm not talking about New York City. I'm not talking about Washington D.C. I'm talking about the South, the Midwest. We out here getting beat over the head. I need a house. Okay, if you want to donate, please donate. Okay, the GoFundMe, I can get one started. I'm scared y'all gonna be trying to drag me for starting a GoFundMe, but I do not want to have neighbors in an apartment anymore. Okay, that's that. Moving on. I'm also taking applications for sugar daddy, but I got a list of things that cannot and will not be a part of the sugar daddy. Okay, he cannot be a loose change sugar daddy. Not one of them jiggly pockets sugar dads with the keys and the quarters and the nickels. Okay, I do not want a loose change sugar daddy. I would like a modern sugar dad. I don't want no sugar dad that be trying to hold you hostage in the house. Okay, I got stuff to do. I cannot spend all my time with you, sugar dad. He cannot be controlling. That's another big one. And two, I don't want to do it to him. Okay, hey, I just want the money. I just want the paper. That's it. Okay, moving on. A lot to talk about. First, let's talk about Halle Berry versus Drake. Because I feel like as a people, we should do our best to keep Halle Berry about the drama. This is Halle Berry, okay? This is the Queen Halle Berry. I'm talking about Natalie from Strictly Business Halle Berry. But to summarize, Drake released a single featuring SZA called Slime You Out. It dropped social media. People, look like, cool, that's great. Yay, yay, yay. Woohoo, Drake and SZA. Yay. The artwork for the single Slime You Out, which was used, is from Halle Berry being slimed at the Kids' Choice Awards. Y'all know at the Kids' Choice Awards, the green slime, they drop it on everybody. A good moment for children and for young teens. But Drake used that artwork for his single. Then all of a sudden on social media, it started to kind of circulate that Halle Berry was not happy about it. She was not happy about it. And it just sparked a whole big conversation. So she said, this is one of her posts on social media, per Halle Berry. She said, sometimes you have to be the bigger guy, even if you're a woman. Okay. People like, dang, Halle, what's up? What's going on, sis? Like, not Halle Berry, not Halle the Berry. People were then figuring out, because she started to respond, Drake did not have her permission to use the photo of her being slimed. Then it shifted into people assuming, why she mad? She doesn't own it. Getty Images owns that. She has no authority and doesn't have any rights. So it doesn't matter how she feels. It's whatever. And the discussions were pretty split, right? Some people were, didn't understand the backlash, and some people were on the side of principle, right? He should have asked, or if she said don't use it, don't use it. Somebody then responded to her IG post and asked the question. They said, while I do understand your side, that photo is owned by Getty Images, so I'm sure he got their permission and paid the fee. Why you mad? Well, person on the internet, I'm going to tell you why I'm mad, per Halle Berry. She says, because he asked me and I said no, that's why. Why ask if you intend to do what you want to do? That's what the fuck you to me. Excuse me. That was the fuck you to me. Not cool. You get it? Red heart. Halle Berry basically said, to all of y'all talking, he did ask. I said no. His team reached out. I said no. He then used it anyway. So why ask? Why see if it's okay? And when I say it's not okay, you just go around and do it anyway. If that's the case, don't ask. Just use it. So the question is he in the wrong or is she overreacting? Who is at fault? Who is to blame? Personally, I'm of the school of, especially in this industry, I respect my elders in entertainment. Y'all know I love me some black actors and actresses and some old R&B singers. Like, I love the four fathers and the four mothers. I love that. So if I needed to get Halle Berry permission and she did not agree to letting me use the picture, you know how many other slime pictures they got from Getty Images? They literally have slimed everybody. He could have reached out to anybody and asked them to use the picture instead. There were options. It ain't like this the only slime picture on the internet. Also, just don't ask. You can always play dumb. Like, you can always be like, oh, I ain't even think to ask. My bad. You right. I should have reached out. Especially if you're going to use it anyway. Just don't ask. It's rude. I personally wouldn't do that because I think it's kind of shady. But some people say deny accountability or fake like you oblivious. That way you don't get in trouble the way you would if you act like you really knew what you were doing. So I'm on the side of Halle in this case. Don't ask. What I don't like though is people on Twitter then started to chime in and say, oh, he made Halle Berry relevant again. I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry. Excuse me. Excuse me. Who? The Halle Berry. The Halle Berry. Halle Berry, Oscar, Academy Award winning Halle Berry. Emmy Award winning Halle Berry for the Dorothy Dandridge story. That Halle Berry? You talking about Halle the Berry? You mean the one who got songs titled after her? Who has a haircut? You go to the beauty shop and you want the short pixie. What do you say you want? Hey, you know what? I'm about to switch it up. Girl, give me the Halle Berry. We know exactly what that haircut is. Halle Berry been relevant and gonna be relevant. This is Halle Berry. I don't know where the disconnect where it came in, where people don't know who our stars are, but I don't like it. Okay, do your research on Halle Berry. With that said, where do y'all stand on this? Do you think he was in the wrong, she was in the wrong, he was in the right, she was in the right? Let me know your thoughts. Hit me up on social media at Cornelia. The actress named Crystal Renee Hazlett, who was one of the stars on BT Sisters, and I think that show with DeVal, it's called like Zativa. It's something. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The pretty girl who act on BT Plus. Crystal, she has her own podcast that is called Keep It Positive. It's called Keep It Positive. It's available on YouTube. It's a podcast, so I'm going to assume it's on all apps where podcasts can be heard. I watched a couple of the episodes. They're really good. She is talking about anything between career advice to dating. She has guests on there. It's a really good listen, especially when you like me-meing around the house trying to clean up or whatever, or you at work. Just typing away. It's really good to kind of just play and hear perspective, especially coming from a black woman who is of age, because I think she's around the same age as me and has experienced some things. So if you have not checked it out, listen to it. It is really good. This past week or last week, she had Tyler Perry on there. Now, I didn't know the backstory between those two. Apparently, Crystal was a part of Tyler Perry Studios and started as someone in the costume department. She then worked her way up to stylist or lead costumer. Then Tyler Perry's stylist, was working with him, traveling with him, and getting him together as far as looks and things. Was wanting and had a passion for acting that whole time. Was starting to audition without even mentioning it to Tyler Perry. Then she ended up getting the role, getting booked on her own to not his shock, but his kind of like amazement. And then now she is a successful actress doing her thing. So kudos to that. The point is, Tyler Perry was a guest on her podcast, and a particular clip blew the internet to smithereens in regards to dating, women's standards and preferences, and everybody has something to say. Now, let me preface this. I'm going to play the clip, but for the sake of my stance on us having media literacy and us doing our research, I listened to the front end of that particular piece of the interview and the back end. I said, you know what? Let me not just take the clickbait. Let me listen to the bulk of the interview to see if what he's saying is really the perspective and in context. Let me check myself, okay? Now, I'm going to play the snippet of the interview.
A lot of women, especially black women, and I might get in trouble for saying this, but I will. In our society right now, black women are making a lot more money for the most part than black men, right? There are a lot of black men who are successful, but for the most part, black women are making the money. So if you can find love, if that man works, at whatever job, and is a good man, and is good to you, and honors the house and honors his wife and does what he can, because his gift may not be your gift.
Exactly.
That is okay. That's not somebody who's beneath you.
Yeah.
That's somebody who came to love you at your worth, right?
Yes.
And as long as he's secure in himself to know that, yep, she makes most of the money, all I can pay is the light bill. As long as she's comfortable enough to say, I'm going to cover the mortgage and all the other stuff, you've handled the light bill, baby, you can take me to dinner every now and then. That is fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But that's so hard for a lot of people to take in, because that means, no, I need somebody who is, they need to make 5 times more, and I got to have, well, you keep your list, baby.
Yeah.
God bless you. Hope it happens. Go and keep your list. But when you talk about just someone to love you and support you, I know people whose men can't touch what they make. But when you see them together, that love, that support, that I got you, babe, it's a beautiful thing.
So after that clip, people gravitated towards a few parts. People started sticking on the part where he said, if all he can pay is the light bill, then, that's fine. No, it's not fine. And I know sometimes we shouldn't take things literally when people making statements. And while I don't think Tyler Perry, if you ask him, he was necessarily saying, if he only can pay $120 a month or $200 a month, then that should be fine for you. I think in theory, I don't know if he really meant that. But if we are talking literally, no, it's not fine. If you can only pay a light bill and the other person is paying everything else, you don't need to be dating. You just don't. You got other things to worry about. You got to get on your feet. Like, if you can't pay to live, you can't live. Like, I don't understand that perspective. Even when I'm in relationships, I've never been in a relationship where the other person was paying all of the bills. I say all of the bills, meaning they was paying the big bills. Like, I'm more than happy to put in and to help out and help and contribute to the savings. But based on the feeling that I had in my stomach after hearing that snippet, being the breadwinner ain't in me. No, it just ain't in me. I don't got it in me. I can't carry the whole household. And if we had kids come home and do that, like, I just don't have it in me. I know I ain't cut out for certain things, and I ain't cut out to be the breadwinner. Let's just say that. But a few other points. He did also say, as long as he's secure, that is key. That is the key. As long as someone is secure with being in that position in a relationship on both parties, because you got to be a secure woman to kind of front all of that. And I know quite a few grown older women who are the breadwinners in their homes. I know some. They seem fine. Okay, let me just say that. But everybody got to be secure and understand what their role is and be able to live and to sit with that. And I understand relationships, they're about more than money. Relationships are about a totality of things, but even if we go back to the original institution of marriage, especially when it comes to when it started, or I wouldn't even say modern times, but let's even track back to the 1800s. Marriage was about assets. A lot of people in colonial times, you got married to because your daddy had money. And if when he died, he would have inherited your inheritance because it went to the men and not the women. We just gonna keep it a buck. It's always been a business contract. We the ones who forgot. Anyway, but the point I want to kind of lean in just for a hot minute. I don't think men know how other men behave. When I hear conversations from my homeboys and my guy friends and women, we be trying to tell them stuff. They always be like, man, dudes don't be doing that. They don't be doing that. They don't be saying that. They don't never do that. When in fact, they do. They just don't tell y'all how they really be acting. Men do not know how other men behave. They just don't. So when I hear Tyler Perry or any other man put out that narrative, the first thing I think of is, oh, your homeboy who was actually in a situation where he wasn't making as much, or was poor, not doing well, or was not necessarily the breadwinner. When he was in that situation, he did not tell you how he became mean or insecure or bitter or spiteful or just the overall nuisance. Oh, he didn't tell you that. He told you he was cool with it. Got it. Now, adding, not all men fall into that category. I am not going to all men this. Some men be cool and playing positions. Some men be just fine. But I'm going to go back to the point where for the men that ain't, they are not telling their homeboys, their uncles, their auntie. They ain't telling nobody. Also thought Tyler Perry was going to go in one direction and he shifted to this. Because if you listen to the interview right before that, it sounded like he was going to be like, oh, that's right. Yeah, yep. Mm-hmm. No, he went in this direction. But if something tells me that he wasn't meaning it as literal, like I said. Also, lastly, I'm going to keep saying this, and we've all been saying this. Why are Black women the only group that is being given constantly given instructions like this? We got to lower our standards, help a brother out. Why are we in other demographics, other nationalities, in other countries? You cannot show up to marry someone's daughter if you cannot even provide for yourself. Only in America, only here are women looked down upon for having too much education. And I say look down upon as far as potential romantic partners. Look down for having too much education. Look down on for having a standard. Look down for having a requirement for people to be able to provide. That is only an American thing. Don't know. I really want us to hear, don't nobody else be having these battles, and don't nobody else be getting talked to like this except Black women. Let's analyze it. We're not going to do that today, but that's just put on the table. What did y'all think about the Tyler Perry interview and that clip? Tell me how you thought, or you heard it and received it. Hit me up on social media and let me know your thoughts. I have left the Jackson State football team's bandwagon and am considering joining up with Colorado, the Buffs. I'm actively considering joining another bandwagon. Now, it's still Hampton University all day. Don't get it twisted. I'm still a Pirate, okay? It's still Anchors all day. It's still Home by the Sea. It's still Rock the Blue and White. Do not get it twisted, okay? It's still that. But when it comes to fandom and having a good time, I'm considering putting an application in support of Deion Must Be the Money Sanders. Now, y'all listen. If y'all been listening to Black News for a while, you know when Deion Sanders was at Jackson State, I was watching Coach Prime on YouTube. That boy had me wanting to suit up and run on the field. Okay, running back. I think I would be a decent running back or a corner. I'm not a wide receiver because my catching ain't that good. My fingers be hurting. But I think I could play one of those positions. He moved on, got a job at a PWI. People was pissed. I wasn't really feeling pissed about it. I understood both sides. I understand what he was doing. I understand why people were mad. He got everybody all fired up and excited, and then he left them young boys. Okay, I felt bad for the boys, but you got his career, and people do what they feel like they need to do for themselves and their families. So that's what he did. He also took his sons with him and a few players, because Shiloh and Shador, they be out there balling for Colorado now at that PWI. But what has now happened is that every black person in America apparently is supporting this football team, this team. Every black person in America was at the game last week. The Rock showed up. Okay, he was on ESPN Game Day. He was in the locker room. He was on the sidelines. That boy gave a speech. He had the jersey on. Hey, The Rock said, "We on strike. I ain't really working. I'm about to do this traveling and this be on the boots on the ground." Master P showed up. Okay, Master P was in the building. Offset was there. Offset was on a live stream for 24 hours with Kai Cenat, however you pronounce that little boy name. Flew to Colorado with the same outfit on and was sidelined at the game. Key Glock was there. Chauncey Billups. Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne performed. There was a concert. He even walked out the team. Y'all got walked out by Lil Wayne. Imagine you play for a football team and your favorite rapper walk you out. Now, he ain't my favorite. I love me some Lil Wayne, but y'all know it's Jay-Z all day. Imagine you playing and Lil Wayne, they're like, "Yo, Lil Wayne gonna walk us out." What? In Colorado? Insane. They also had us at home on a Saturday night watching football at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I got homeboys and homegirls who were up till 2 o'clock in the morning because the game went in double overtime. I'm talking about people was in the house. When the last time you ever heard somebody locked in for a Colorado game? A Colorado versus Colorado State. Like, what? Get out of here. That man turned Colorado up. They was calling it the BET Awards. Now, I definitely didn't like that stereotyping, because just because some black people congregate don't mean it's the BET Awards. Black people everywhere, okay? Stop all this. But y'all get what I'm saying. Now, do we think the Colorado team will go far? I do not care. Do we think Deion Sanders is going to stay in Colorado for long? I do not care. Do we think when his sons go to the league, or at least Shador go to the league, because I don't know if Shiloh gonna go, he might go to the XFL with the Rock now. Do we think Deion gonna stick around or try to make it somewhere else? I don't care. Do we think Deion, if he's offered a coaching position in the NFL, he'll dip on Colorado? Probably, but again, I don't care. I have learned that when stuff is happening, it's a good time. Enjoy the good time. Don't worry about that other stuff. We out here. We riding the wave, baby. Okay, baby, we riding the wave. Okay, we just gonna keep watching these Colorado games and see what happens. Did y'all tune into the game? What did y'all think? What y'all think is gonna be next for Deion Sanders and his two sons who out there balling? Hit me up. Let me know your thoughts. I'm at Cornelia on social media. On this week's episode of Black News, we discussed the legendary Halle Berry and if it is okay or the right thing to do to use something once someone tells you that they are not okay with it, doing it without approval. Also, we talked about the Tyler Perry interview that went viral over the weekend and the snippet about women and their dating standards and expectations. And we also talked about Deion Sanders in Colorado and all of the bandwagon fans that will be coming along this coming year and season. Hit me up and let me know your thoughts about all topics, some or none, and I'll check back with you guys next time. That's it for this week's episode of Black News, y'all. Thanks again. Thank you. And thank you again so much for sticking with us, supporting the podcast, liking and subscribing on all apps where podcasts can be heard, rating 5 stars, and leaving a comment. It helps more than you know, so I really, really appreciate it. And keep sharing Black News with all of your friends and family. Be sure to hit me up on social media if you got ideas for topics. Or just hit me up in general to let me know you've been listening. Let me know your thoughts. I'm at Cornelia on all platforms across the board. That's at Cornelia, like Kenny and Ophelia. Also check my website. I got some shows coming up in Los Angeles County. Hopefully get on the road soon. But for now, if you're in the LA area, hit me up. Check Cornelia.com for show dates and details. And as always, thanks again so much, guys. I hope you have a fantastic week. Keep supporting, keep growing, keep building, keep staying safe, and keep staying healthy. As always, again, I'll see you back here next time, same time, same place. Bye.